And good afternoon, everyone. It's John the Net Guy. It is Prime Day, show number 2. This is a show all about the Scepter family of monitors. Talk about some awesome monitors here. I've got 2 right now on the desk. I got 2 behind me, and I got 1 on the floor, plus the other 4 monitors that are normally in my studio. So I've got like 9 monitors going. We're going to be checking out 5 monitors today from the Scepter company. Quick FTC disclosure, I guess that's a thing. They did not send me these for free. I don't get to keep these. These 2 here I paid my own money for a few days ago. Now it's actually gone down in price, and it's an even better deal because it's Prime Day, and now I'm kind of kicking myself, but these are still a great value. The other monitors, they sent me out on a review and return policy. I don't get paid by them. I don't get told in advance what to say about the monitors. Now, do I like them? Oh, I love them. I think they're awesome. I've been doing some testing. There's some cool stuff coming along. I'm going to try a couple features. Hey, we've got our chat back here. Round 2, ding, 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 ding. Randy J was there this morning when Amazon decided not to work. That was kind of exciting. I had a little bit of a late start this morning. This morning's show was all about networking products. Made some RJ45 cables that actually worked. We damaged some cables and tested testers and gave away a PoE monitor. A PoE switch in that show. Today I'm going to be giving away a cool monitor accessory. I couldn't quite afford to give away one of these, though now some of these are actually coming down in price because I'm paying for this giveaway out of my own pocket. But I am going to give away what you see right over here, and it's kind of dark. This is from Mount Pro. This is their Mount Pro monitor arm, and this thing is so useful, especially with some of the monitors that are, more budget friendly. Anything that can Visa mount can mount to this. I even show you right here. I use this thing for my cameras sometimes. I'll put my camera on here, and then I can move my camera around the studio. And so I've used these for everything, but that's from Mount Pro. I'm going to show you the URL to sign up for that right now as kind of people are milling in. I see a few of you are showing up here. So the giveaway for that is right down there. thenetguy.com/arm. The only thing I use that for is the giveaway. You get to pick whatever name you want to have on the prize wheel. We're going to spin that thing a little bit later as we go through some of these cool monitors. I've got a whole slew of monitors. Let me pull them up real quick here and see if you guys can see them there. I'm still down in the corner. The easiest way to see what deals we got going on today is to visit my Amazon show page. We're going live here on Amazon because I almost forgot to hit that button. There we go. And we're doing the Scepter monitor show live here on Amazon on Prime Day. If you go down here and you hit on idea lists, so maybe I'm not going live right now still, go down here, Prime Day show 2. And this is all of the monitors we're going to talk about today. And this is a great set of monitors. We're going from very budget friendly at $89.97, so less than $90 for a full HD monitor, 75 hertz, ultra thin. It's 22 inches, but sometimes like on a kid's desk, you might want something this small. And now it's less than $100 usually with tax in most jurisdictions. The next one up here is the Scepter 24. I got to figure out how to show these while I'm in the little window. The Scepter 24, which is actually a really good business monitor. So full HD, still ultra thin bezels, 75 hertz, 1080. I just finished testing this and it did really well in the tests. I was surprised for an under $100 monitor right now. Most of the monitors are around 30% off. So I see 27, 30, 217s, and I know that the one on the far right, which we're going to get to, is a great deal too. The middle one there is a 27-inch IPS gaming monitor for $159. So 27-inch monitor now is $159 today with 165 hertz refresh rate. So that's a flat one. That's the guy over my shoulder here. The one over my other shoulder is the next one we have, which is $199.97. And that is a curved 240 hertz full HD monitor. They broke the $200 price barrier here for Prime Day, but it's $199.97, and you get a curved monitor. It's got really good brightness. I like the contrast ratio on it. I did some testing on these earlier today, so I'll be able to show you the results from the dreaded Datacolor Spider Elite. This thing will make monitors honest. So if they say they got good color, this will test it. If they say they're really bright, this will test it. So one thing I really like about that is that it's not subjective. I can look at a monitor and say, hey, that looks really good. but this thing will tell you if it's really good. Also, you know, when we're going through this and we're checking these monitors out, I'll give you my tips on tuning them up, because a lot of times right out of the box, settings not so good, but we can definitely tune those up. So we're going to start out with this one. We are going to end with the 30-inch ultra wide, which I have over here. It's the monitor that made my channel. That was my first video to hit 100,000 views, and you guys have been just blowing that one up. Let's start with the most affordable monitor we got here, and I'm going to go ahead and put this in the Amazon carousel. Just a quick reminder, if you guys are watching on Amazon right now, which is awesome, or even if you're not, if you could head over to my Amazon page, it's amazon.com/shop/thenetguy. Just hit me a follow there. I'm trying to do like a subathon. Is that a thing? That would be really, really good. Should be seeing it on Amazon now. So we are live on Amazon, and I'm going to be opening up the 22-inch Scepter monitor. Now, this monitor is in the Amazon carousel. I'll pull it up here on the side so we can see it. 22 inches. I'll pull it up here so you guys can see the specs on it while I'm doing the opening down here. And, you know, pretty decent reviews. You know, this is actually, I believe, like the #3 best-selling monitor on Amazon right now. That's part of why I wanted to get these in here. I'm usually testing gaming monitors, but you'd be surprised. I probably order business monitors 1-to-1 for gaming monitors, maybe a little bit higher even, just because I help people with their IT needs. And a lot of times, mom and pops don't need 165, 240 hertz. This is 75 hertz, and it's got really good color, so it's going to look good. Again, full HD screen on 22 is actually sharper than on a 24, so it's going to be a really good sharpness. Always, always, always remember to keep your boxes, by the way. You're like, oh, why do I need these boxes? Scepter's done a really good job of not over packaging. Their packaging is perfectly minimalistic, right? It's exactly what you need to get all of the pieces of the monitor and nothing that you don't. But keep this packaging because it's going to come in handy if you ever have to move, if you ever have a warranty issue, which most people don't, but if you ever did, they need that for warranty for transport to keep it safe. So here we go. I took my top-down cam off. Sorry, I had to switch that thing out just so I could show you some of the gaming footage that we're going to do here. But this is what you're going to get. When you take it out, make sure that you try to keep the accessories on the top here. Oh, Amazon, come on. What are we doing today? It's saying no picture on Amazon? That's not good. But Hasselval started following. No video, just your picture. Huh, interesting. Give me 1 second to check Amazon, make sure they're playing nice here. And go over there, amazon.com/shop/thenetguy. Oh no, it's showing live video for me. It might be because you got 2 streams going. So somebody was just asking about that in the chat, but maybe the 2 streams are conflicting with each other. I don't know. It's like a Ghostbusters thing, right? Don't cross the streams. I'm going to move my camera over here a little bit so you can see the monitors better, not just me. So again, comes with an accessory base. Now, on the budget side monitors, you're not going to get super fancy full motion. I did a review on Black Friday. If you go way back, probably one of the best stands I've ever tested was actually on a Black Friday 27-inch monitor. So I'm just taking the stuff out here. Again, most of the Scepter displays, especially the budget ones, are going to have a separate power bank like that. Keeps the weight of the monitor down. There is the base. Now, base is pretty simple on these. They just turn and click. Let's see if I can turn it the right way. So there's your base is now assembled. Hopefully you guys can see that. So we've got the base assembled. Now, what I like to do, I'm not going to use a lot of the cables, and honestly, I may not use those just because I already have some plugged in. Keep that monitor in the carton while you do all the hookups. So the last thing you want to do is accidentally drop this, scratch this, or do whatever. And what I'm noticing right away on this one is very, very thin sides. So I'm going to pull it up just so I can show you. And be real careful when you're touching these. Again, super light displays nowadays. Look how thin that is. I'm not saying you could shave with that, but oh my goodness, they've gotten that super thin. Let me see if I can find a better view on the side here for you. Look how thin that monitor is. Yeah. Crazy skinny monitor there. So again, and you're talking $89. That's amazing. So you're going to take this base. I like to leave the monitor still in here. You're just going to press it over that part of the monitor. Now, what's funny is I have a collection. I'm telling you, I got a problem. I've got a collection of Scepter monitor screwdrivers, only from the ones I bought. I never kept the ones, I don't think, from the review units, but I literally keep them in here with all my other cool stickers and stuff. But yeah, each one of your Scepter monitors is going to come with this really baby screwdriver, but it's so cool because it comes with everything you need. So we're going to take and we're going to open this up, and we're going to add these two screws to this monitor. So I'm checking the chat real quick to see if there are any questions coming through. It popped on all of a sudden. Oh, it's probably an Amazon thing today. They're getting beat up on Prime days. There's been a lot of really good deals today. Not just the stuff that I'm showing. I woke up and I kind of did my scan of what's coming up just because I really wanted to see what was going to be a great deal today. I'm going to slide this over and put some of these away. A couple quick things I want to tell you about, though. Keep this little tiny bag. Nope, that's not the right input. Keep this little tiny bag of Visa mounting screws. So you may or may not need them depending on your monitor arm. But the one thing I like, all of the monitors that I'm going to show you today from Scepter have these little 4 holes. Now there may be different styles, there may be adapters, but every single one can then be adapted to a monitor arm. And then you can raise and lower and tilt and shift and do everything with your monitor. So even though the stand on some of these budget ones does not lend itself well to a lot of adjustability, the beauty of this is that they are going to, fit really well with about a $40 monitor arm. So while I put that stuff away, I am going to pull up the giveaway page. So it's thenetguy.com/arm. Let me do that in the correct monitor so you can see it. thenetguy.com/arm. And this is exactly what I was talking about giving away today. So I just want to show you that. And it has the drawing rules, contest rules that apply with all the Amazon and YouTube lawyers. You just fill it out here. No purchase necessary, obviously. Void where prohibited. US only. Shipping, sorry. That's what we got to deal with. But yeah, so that is the unboxing of this monitor. Really easy to set up. You can see it just takes a couple minutes. I am actually not going, like I said, to use those 2 cords this time, only because I have a machine set up here on the side that has everything already to go. And I'm going to quickly look here to see if there's anybody in Amazon. Hey, look at that. Okay, we got a ton of people on Amazon. Hasseval, thank you for the follow. You're going to get notified each and every time I go live, which is awesome. Hopefully more often. I go live on Tuesdays, every Tuesday at 5:30 for Tech on Tuesday, but maybe we're going to do some more of that. And Russ Carter, thank you for the follow. We're doing Scepter monitors all day today. Well, okay, the next show. all throughout this show, there's going to be 5 of them. This is the first of them. I'm going to go ahead and plug it in real quick. And I'm going to take off this protective cover here. So overall, Scepter has made a good entry-level monitors. They've got, up to now the 240 hertz gaming monitors. I've done some demonstrations for you guys of 40-inch plus monitors. Now you're like, okay, is that a TV or is that a monitor? But this is the 22. It's the smallest one that we're going to have on display today, but it is the full HD resolution, which I really like. You're getting a little glare there. You can see the screen on it. It's got, the Scepter minimalist branding down here, and you can take off the sticker that's over here. A couple things. Let me show you on the back of this one. And I'm going to bring this side camera in a little closer for the rest of the show, I think. Just because I'm going to show you a few things. I want it up a little bit closer. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so there are your inputs on this one. So it's got VGA. This is like the last of the Mohicans. This is the last monitor probably that has VGA, as you see here. And then it has 2 HDMIs. It's not going to be the fancy high-spec HDMIs because, again, it doesn't need it. It's 75 hertz at full HD. Hookup is pretty easy. It's not going to use the DisplayPort cable I had here. It's actually going to use this other one that I hooked up. And hopefully, I'm going through an adapter here. Hopefully that kicks on right away. Yeah, Andrew was saying they need to allocate a few more resources over at AWS to their shows. Apparently they do. I'm not going to argue with you, Andrew. I've been on support calls all morning with them. So we're getting there. Okay, just plugging the monitor in right now to power. And I'm going to put it into the HDMI 1 slot. And hopefully, if all is working, we're going to see something here in just a second. There we go. Got the Scepter branding. There's a little text in orange. Hopefully my machine wakes up and goes, now I've got a third monitor. It's got HDMI 1 auto-detected. Let's see if we'll get this thing up. I got to find where I put my keyboard and mouse for that machine. Okay. That is on the HDMI input. Where did I put my keyboard? There it is. There it was. Machine was just asleep. It's been that kind of day. So again, overall, if you guys can see that, good color and sharpness on it. Decent viewing angle. You know, you'll see some shift, but actually that's a fairly sharp view angle. I want to see on that one. I'm going to pull the product page up. I want to see if that one's an IPS display. Does it say IPS on that? It does not show IPS. It's going to say 250 nits of peak brightness on this one. So again, right now on Amazon's page for this specific monitor, you're talking 100, or sorry, not 100. I have to change the first digit. $89.97. Normally $107 on Prime Day here. It's on sale for $89.97. So that's a fantastic deal if you're looking for kids. If you're looking for somebody that doesn't have a lot of room on their desk, or maybe you want to run 2 of these for less than $200. They have HDMI inputs. That's the only thing to remember. I'm using a DisplayPort to HDMI adapter for my fancy video card, but it does have one HDMI that I could use. Hey, got to say hi to a couple people in the chat. We got a couple friends of the show showing up and previous winners. And Timothy Clark, welcome back. He won some stuff on the Father's Day show. So good to see you back here, man. Hope you're having a good time. And oh my goodness, we got a $2 super chat from Andrew Preston. That 30-inch looks spicy. And yes, it is. It is a fantastic monitor. You know, honestly, I have not actually run the benchmarks yet that I was going to run. Now I need a mouse. I'm telling you. This can't win for losing today, guys. And let me see about this. Okay, got my mouse back. Do I have keyboard? No keyboard, so let's do the keyboard trick. Off and on. There we go. Do I have keyboard? Well, I do have Control-Alt-Delete capability. So that's my, oh, you know what? It's seeing the second monitor. There we go. I need to duplicate. That's what I'm putting all the stuff into this other display. So you can see the actual full-size display here. So that's what it's looking like there. Again, you can see the display here matching that. So just like that. I'm going to clear some of the stuff out of the way. And then I'm going to run the Heaven benchmark, which I was just getting installed right before here. So hopefully it'll run good. Just to show you a little bit of what this monitor is going to look like. I'm going to go back out in just a second. So this is a benchmark that we normally would run on a regular, you know, graphics card test or something like that. It's getting a little older, but, you know, I actually like it just because it gives us something to view, and that's going to be something that's consistent across these monitors. So we'll give it just a second to get installed. Looks like it's there. I agree. And then we're going to run it. So there we go. So now we're running the benchmark. Obviously, I think it is F9 to actually take a benchmark. This is one of my gaming machines that I had. Actually, this is a machine that we built the other day. So it's kind of fun. But, you know, overall color and accuracy on this one looks good. One of the things that I would recommend is you go through this OSD, this on-screen display. I'm going to turn the colors down a little bit here. So as you go through this, a lot of these on the standard mode come out just a little bit too bright. So I actually will change them down a little bit, and I will take the brightness down a hair, and you can see how that's starting to show on the screen better, a lot better. And then I'll take the backlight up. Now I'm not going to take the backlight up now because that's going to defeat the purpose with all of our cameras. But it actually looks really, really good overall. Again, super lightweight. It's going to fit on almost any monitor arm. You might have to actually reduce that. And then it's got, I believe, let me double check on the current warranty on these ones. So 4.5 stars, and I'm just looking to see on the warranty for the products, but I know it's at least a year, but I think they might even go more on that. That's one of the things I usually had pulled up before, but I don't see it on the Amazon detail page. But that's the 22-inch, so really good choice. We're going to shift gears unless there's any questions on this one, and we're going to go take a look at the next one, which is very, very similar in construction, and that's the 24-inch. It's almost identical, but I'm just pulling that up right now on the Amazon carousel, so you're going to see that here, and I'm going to pull it up on the Amazon website, and we're going to switch gears and go to that one. So I'm going to pull that off of here, loop my input cables, and I'll try not to knock anything over as I grab the 24. I tell you, 9 monitors in a little studio. So this is the 24-inch version of that monitor. So this is a little bit larger than the 22, obviously. Same basic features, same basic construction. So I'm going to pull this out here. We're going to do a quick setup just so we have it available to us. But then I'm going to very quickly go show you the benchmarking results, because essentially those two monitors share very similar construction, very similar style. Now, when removing the monitors, obviously try to put the accessories upward. It's going to make your life a lot easier. So same way we did the last one. So got our accessory base right here, just like the last one. I'm going to show you on the side camera here because it's a little bit closer. So take that base, take this in here, turn and lock. That's all you got to do for setting this up. Make sure you keep your nice Scepter screwdriver. I don't think I do keep a couple over here. There's also going to be 2 screws in this one, just like the 22-inch monitor and the Visa standoffs. So, you know, the back of the monitor here, these things will push the Visa plate a little bit back further. They go through here, and that can give you some room to get cables by. I don't think it would be an issue. And again, standard power, and you know, I can go wider here. So it's got the standard power, and this one looks like an HDMI cable is included with it. HDMI, yep. Okay, so I'm going to shuttle those to the side. We're going to get the monitor out. And if you guys have questions, let me know. Almost identical, like I said. You know, very, very similar to the 22, both construction and assembly. Use the box. The box is your friend. If you're just joining, this is John the Net Guy. We are assembling the Scepter 24-inch. This is the #1 best-selling monitor on Amazon, I found out the other day when I was doing the search. And it's for great reasons. You know, it's got all of the right specs, all of the right numbers that you'd want. It's $94.97 right now. I'm not logged in, so I can't tell if they've got Prime shipping on this browser. But most of these have Prime shipping, which is great, and they get them to you in just a couple of days. I'm going to pull the monitor out now. Like I said, I recommend leaving everything connected until you're ready to do the grand reveal. Now, I've already taken this monitor out and done all of our testing, our standard tests on it. So I'm going to pull that up, and you'll get to see how these things rate, even compared to gaming monitors and some of these other ones. It's pretty interesting to see the differences. So I'm going to put that over there. Trust me, Scepter, I'll send it all back, I promise. Maybe. These ones, no, these are mine actually. So I'm going to plug in HDMI 1 here, and then I'm going to plug in the power. Just real quick, I showed you on the back there. It's just booting up right now, but I'm going to show you on the back here where those go in. Again, this one has VGA to HDMI, and there we go. We're greeted right away with a desktop. And if I hit the Windows P key twice, I should be able to change the mirroring options. Let's see. There we go. Duplicate. So we're back into the Heaven benchmark, as you see here. Another great monitor. Again, one of the issues like these, they come in a little bit bright for my taste. The on-screen display, it's a little bit dated. I tell it every year, every few months, you know, when I'm testing these things out. The on-screen display definitely could use a refresh. I have this thing cranked up to 100% backlight. I'm going to turn the brightness down, and I'm going to turn the backlight down for the purpose of the camera, and you're going to see the colors and quality on this kind of start to pop now. Again, great little monitor. I'm going to pull it up on the side camera so you can just see the colors that this thing has. You know, there's a little bit of glare, but it does have an AR coating on it, so it's definitely anti-reflective. A lot of times to get deeper black, so these monitors will put a really high gloss coating on it, and it's actually not good. It actually makes it harder to watch movies and stuff at, at night. This would be an excellent resolution. I love full HD at 24 for business because everything is crisp, the text is crisp. I really, really like that. I'm taking a look real quick. And just a couple things. Heaven is a fast to download and puts a load on your GPU. Absolutely right, Andrew. Thank you so much, my friend. And I'm just using it to, again, show some gameplay. We'll actually load up some other games. We'll load some flight simulators and stuff as we get to the cooler monitors. We're also going to run the UFO test and a few other things. So this is Unigine Heaven benchmark. We're just running it through on the Scepter 24-inch monitor. You saw how quickly I assembled these things. That's literally all it takes to assemble these from scratch, and we're doing great on time here. Just a quick reminder, if you want to enter the giveaway, that URL right there that you see, netguy.com/arm, is my way of getting you a free monitor arm. So this monitor arm that I've got behind here, behind the 24-inch, that is what you're winning here. Not this exact one. I'll ship you a brand new one. But that's very, very nice to have with these monitors. So I've used dual monitor arms like I've got behind me here. And so if you've got two of these, the price is right that you could get two of these for under $200, and you throw $30 in for a monitor arm, so less than $250, you would have two full HD 24-inch 75 hertz. Now, if you're going to not play super high speed competitive, first person shooters, things like that, if you're going to do simulations, or your graphics card in most of the games can only do 60 frames per second, I'd highly recommend looking at these resolutions because it's a great compromise of just size, and under $100 you can't beat that. So taking a look, Chris, thank you so much for the follow. I do appreciate that. Chris followed me on Amazon, which means he's going to get notified each and every time I go live. Take a quick break here while we reset. So yeah, today we are taking a look at all of the family of Scepter monitors. We've been looking at their their entry level, their business monitors. Now we're going to jump into some of the cool gaming monitors. So, a lot of the gaming monitors, things that you're going to look for are higher refresh rate, obviously. Motion blur is another problem, or can be a problem, and all of these monitors that I've been looking at have overdrive technology so that they can overdrive the pixels to get you a little bit clearer picture. And, all the way through here, some of them are like the one back here are 165 hertz. This one's 240 hertz. And the one I'm going to show you a little bit later, the curved one, the ultra wide, is 200 hertz. So you kind of have a whole, group of different monitor choices here. The other thing about monitor refresh rates is it doesn't have to be one-to-one. Your monitor can be at 200 hertz and your game can vary. These have FreeSync technology, so they will do variable refresh rate. They'll lock with the computer, so you don't get that tearing or jagged edges. Like if you ever gone to a movie and they pan real quick in a scene, I don't like it. It does that stuttering look, or worse, it even has jagged lines. All of these monitors that we're going to see now have that capability. So really cool. I'm going to put this one down and we're going to switch gears and we're going to pull out the curved one. And when I pull that curved one out, I'm going to show you the test results for not only the curved one, but the curved one compared to this one, and you can see the difference in brightness. So that was the 24-inch. Again, trying to find some room in here. Do that real quick. Going to move a few of these things out of the way. And that was from Scepter Company. The next one I'm going to pull up on the carousel is another Prime Day deal. And this is a flat 27. So I've already taken the liberty of unboxing it and setting up the stand. A couple things you'll notice that the stand is no longer plastic. It has an all metal stand on this one. Still adjustability, it's going to be up and down about that much. These do tend to sit a little bit low. That's one thing I noticed. And then the tripod legs on the stand can be a little tippy. So just make sure you've got it positioned well where you want it and it's in a safe place. The other thing that I would recommend is a gas strut monitor arm for almost all of these. You just can't go wrong with a gas strut arm. It's a lot more secure connection. You can't bump or knock over a monitor if you've got kids, teenagers, or you yourself are prone to doing anything There we go. I'm just tightening up that base there. Then we're going to take a look at that. I'm going to pull it up on Amazon real quick, and we're going to take a look at the specs on this one. We are not looking at, on this one, I believe this is still full HD, but I'm going to double check that. Yep. Yeah, there we go. Okay, yep, this is still a full HD. Let me pull up this so you guys can see it. So this is the page right now. It's $159.97 on Amazon Prime Day, which is another great savings. 27-inch. It's going to have that FreeSync technology that we talked about. It actually does have built-in speakers. That's one of the things that's really, really rare to start seeing in monitors nowadays, is the built-in speaker capability. So most of them will have like a speaker output, and then people will be like, why don't the speakers work? It's because they don't have them. So this one does have built-in speakers, it says. This is the 2021 model, but it is a late 21. It's like October, so it's not even a year old, I believe, on this one since it was published. It does have a blue light filter, which if you're doing a lot of office work or you're staring at a computer all day, as it gets to be nighttime, there's that whole circadian rhythm thing. You're going to want some sort of filter on your monitor, whether you wear blue light blocking sunglasses or glasses. That's one option. I'm just plugging the back here. But this monitor, it should pop up a screen. There we go. Has that built-in capability. So you can go in through the on-screen display. Another capability that it has, again, super skinny series. I don't even know if I can show that against my logo, how tight that is, how just very, very skinny. Yet another one that's maybe a 1/4 inch thick front to back. So very, very skinny monitors, and not bad. You know, this one weighs a bit more because you're now in the 27-inch size range. So it weighs a little bit more than some of the others did, but definitely capable. Lots of screen real estate, but it's still full HD resolution. So this one's going to be a little bit bigger from a desktop perspective, but it's still from a pixel perspective, it's going to run just the same as the other ones. So, hey, welcome everybody on Amazon. I see we got a lot of people joining here. This is John the Net Guy. We're taking a look at the full line of Scepter gaming monitors. Got a curved one coming up with 240 hertz and their C30 ultra wide, which is still a fantastic deal and a really cool monitor if you've never had an ultra wide. It's kind of an entry level drug. You know, once you have that and you start going back to these square monitors or rectangular monitors, it's really kind of crazy. So we're just taking a look at this. I'm going to pull up some specs because I think that one of the things that's important here is showing you how well they performed in the data color spider test. So pulling that up right now, and we'll go through what the specs are and what they mean. So this is the first one we're going to take a look at. I'm going to pull up the display analysis on it, and once I get that going, then I will pull it up for you to see. So they're calling this one the Edgeless. So hopefully you guys can see that. I might be able to zoom the center in a little bit here. So this is the Edgeless display, and from a color gamut, there's a bunch of different terminologies here, but the big important thing is the sRGB. If you're a gamer, you want the sRGB color space. That's this triangle that's here in light green, and it covers all of that, and it's coming into the P3 space, which is more for print and publishers. Adobe RGB is just a completely different one there, but that's again for people that are doing professional print work. So didn't see any issues there. Tone response is dead on gamma here, so you can see the gamma curves. So monitor did really well in this. Brightness and contrast is interesting on this one. So with these IPS displays, they don't have a very high contrast ratio. One of the things that this one suffered from, and actually one of the adjustability tips that I want to give you, is when you get it out from the factory, it's going to come in standard mode. Go ahead and go to the picture mode, change that to go to user, and you can adjust it down. We're going to adjust the brightness down to about 25. And then the backlight up, or in my case down, so it looks better on the screen, but then you can adjust the backlight. And actually it's going to make the colors pop, things are going to look better. But what we're looking at here on the display, it says it has 317 nits of brightness is what it tested out at, which is absolutely really good. Usually in cheap laptops and cheaper displays, you're looking at 250 nits or below. This one did 317. Now the contrast ratio says only 530, and again, it's the way that the test works on this. most of the time adjusting the brightness doesn't affect it, the brightness of it. You have to adjust the backlight. So I did run the test one more time, but 317 was the peak here. At normal settings, it was 267. And then screen uniformity, this is telling you if the panel's got a really bright side or a dark side. In general, it's pretty good. You don't want to see like super dark orange on these, and I did not see those. And then luminosity looks pretty good. Now, color accuracy, this is where the IPS monitors shine. And if I could have like a badge to give this one, basically less than 2 is almost calibrated mode, right? So if you've got a monitor that puts out 165 hertz that you can play video games on, that also looks great for editing photos and stuff without a calibrator. So these are pre-calibrated results. Should that be pre or non-calibrated results? So this is before I did any calibration. There is one color that always seems to come out on these. It's this kind of teal color, and this is in the 48 patch color test, but most of them are under 1 on the color accuracy. So incredibly color accurate, almost the full spec of Adobe sRGB color space for gaming. So you're going to get a bright monitor that games, that's got great color. So I don't know what else you could ask for right now, but overall monitor ratings, it was giving it 5 stars in a bunch of categories. A couple of the ones on contrast, it didn't give it. So I actually ran this test one more time, and I did it, and I darkened the room just to do some testing in here. Let's see, this was in the dark room. And I changed the brightness technique, so it wasn't able to actually get any additional brightness out of it, and the screen uniformity stayed roughly the same because I was worried I had a bright light over here for the studio. So really roughly about the same, but overall a great showing on the Scepter monitor. So I was really happy with that. I'm going to pull up the report for the 24-inch because we have it here. So that 24 Pro series, again, 95% of sRGB here. I can play with the settings a little bit to find out sometimes, again, these monitors, when out of the box, they're not set up exactly for testing, and I don't spend a lot of time making them perfect for that. Tone response, it's actually on gamma, but it's on the lower side here because of the gamma setting that it had. And then brightness, and this is on the 24-inch, right? 320 nits of brightness and 1601 contrast ratio. So great contrast, great brightness overall. Really happy with that. Screen uniformity, it's actually pretty good. There's getting to be a little bit darker spots in some areas at different brightness levels, but overall, you know, really decent. So that 24 for under $100, you can't beat it. Now here, you're going to see the difference. When you go with an IPS display, this is more of a professional's display here. So the one that we're looking at is the 27-inch flat IPS from Scepter. This one is the 24-inch results, and you can see how much different they are. So still got that weird teal. I hope it's not my calibrator because I've tested with a couple different ones, but you can see how much higher the numbers are. So you could get this monitor, the 24-inch, sorry, back into spec with some calibration, but that's what we do with this monitor analysis. I'm not a gamer's nexus. I'm not going to tear them apart. Overall, anything under 4, most people probably couldn't tell. Under 2 and lower is great for professional and print work. So we love that. So overall, 2 great monitors on here. Let's talk about the refresh rate though. That's the big elephant in the room. So there is a test for that. So here we're looking at the Heaven benchmark still. I'm going to pull up a different one. And let's see here. How did I get Unigen running in the background? Did I have like 2 of them running? Because I alted. Oh, there we go. Got it. Gotcha. Okay. And we're going to go over to browsers, and we're going to go to UFO blur test. And I got to find where I put that other one. Here we go. So this is the UFO test, and it's going to really help us understand what happens. Now, I can't show you this because I'm in 60 hertz here. I can't show you this really well on this monitor. Let's see if I can get it to come out on this monitor at the same time. So we're on duplicate, and we're going to go back over here. Okay, let's see if I refresh. I don't think it's going to be able to go to the higher refresh rates now, sadly, because we're here. But what this does, and I've run this test earlier, and you'll see it in the full review of this video. But essentially what this does is it's checking for motion blur. So why do we want 165 hertz? Well, you don't get that stuttering impact when you're playing a video game if you're moving fast. So the frame rates are 30 frames on Amazon, so it's going to look awful. But just so you know, we can test all these monitors, and I have tested them. I'll talk about that when it comes to the 240, and maybe we'll just plug it in. Actually, let's do that. If I do this and I give it back a single monitor, I can go to advanced display settings. Another thing, this is another really good tip. You're not going to be able to see this. I can't put it on the screen because we can't mirror at that such a high refresh rate. But if you come down here, this is where you can set the refresh rate of the monitor. And so let me see if I can put you up on the side camera here. So in Windows, advanced display settings, just come over there, pick that refresh rate. I'm on Windows 11, but you can be on 10. It works throughout them all the same. Just look up advanced display settings. I'm going to set this to 165. So now we're going all the way to the top. And then I'm going to say keep the changes. We're going to go here. We don't want that installer. I want to go back to, oh my goodness, Edge. UFO test. Blur. And so I like to run this one now. Okay, it's run 164. It's going to try to get the machine. I don't know if you can see a difference now at 165. I actually see it on the cameras here. So a lot less stuttering as that UFO goes across. Now, if you get really close up to it, and it's not going to, again, transfer here. See how the bottom UFO is kind of clipping? That top UFO, he's smooth, but he's got a little bit of a trail behind him. That's called ghosting. So that's when the monitor, excuse me, is, changing pixels 165 times a second, and, it's trying to keep up. And as it moves, there's a small delay. That's that refresh rate, G to G, MPRT. Those refresh rates are when the window or door is closing on the LCD display. Now, how do you make that look a little bit better? If we go into the settings on the monitor, again, got to go to the on-screen display here. You can actually go down to this MPRT value. And basically, this is similar to the overdrive here. And that's actually going to help. Now, you see it flickering on the camera, because that's what it's doing. There's black frame insertion, which is another trick that a lot of monitor companies use. But in the end, it's to give yourself a better picture. So you can see it's definitely doing more insertion. And there's with it off. And there's an overdrive value as well. So if I exit this menu and you go down to the system menu on this one. Now, OSD buttons as they are, like I said, all of these ones use the exact same OSD, and unfortunately all of the OSDs in my opinion are dated. I'd love to see that refresh. I'd be like the first guy cheering when they update the on-screen display. So I can turn FreeSync on or off there, and then I can go up here. So FreeSync knocked it down quite a bit. Let me actually turn that off. Get it back to 165, hopefully I can do that. And then you can change the overdrive setting here. And let me go back into advanced display. So advanced display settings, 165. Let's go over here and refresh this. And it's at 65. For some reason my browser decided to go back down. Let's do Edge again. UFO test blur. So that dropped when I turned FreeSync on. There we go. Now we're back, 164. So now I've turned the overdrive mode on to high. So it's not going to show it real well here. But what that's doing is it's actually overdriving that top row of pixels there to try to make it blur less, try to give it a little bit less ghosting. So those are some terms that I'm going to use as we talk about this. Overall, let's go back to Amazon though. Fantastic price on this. They did not tell me what the prices were going to be. They kind of gave me a range that there was a percentage off. $159.97 is a no-brainer for me. I know several people that have this kind of monitor. Eric asked, did he miss the giveaway again? No, we have not given away the monitor arm. I'm going to give the monitor arm away after I do the curved. So let's do that here in a few minutes. We're doing great on time today. This is the flat version of the monitors we're going to be looking at today. The next one that's coming up is the curved 27-inch. And this is 240 hertz. It's behind me. So I'm going to switch gears here. Thank you guys for checking in that are watching. This is John the Net Guy. If this is your first time here, I do PC builds, tech tips, gear reviews, monitor reviews. I have a show called Tech on Tuesday. I do it live every single Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. Tonight's going to actually be preempted at 4 p.m. We're going to do a show about Blink cameras today. So if you're interested in home security cameras, there's that. I did a show this morning at 8 a.m. Sorry if you missed it, for the Sedola PoE networks, and we made RG45 or RJ45 cables, and RG6 coax cables. We did a whole bunch of stuff. We used a bunch of cool tools. So kind of all over the board on what I do on the show, but it's all tech related. Tomorrow is going to be kitchen tech and cooking tech, because I love to cook. And you know what? There's some cool stuff going on in that space. So I'm going to introduce you guys to some neat stuff there. So if you do follow me on Amazon, which I will shout out everybody that gives me a quick follow. Eric, he just said he entered the giveaway. Fingers crossed. I would really love it if you could win. But if you do give me a follow, you're going to get notified each and every time I go live and when I do giveaways. I'm doing a giveaway every single show for Amazon Prime Days. So this giveaway today is the Mount Pro monitor arm. These things are great. Like I said, I even use these for cameras. That's this little add-on I've put on here as a 1/4 screw. And I just put that in here. And I can tilt this up, and I can now have a moving camera rig. For I think these are around $40. So they're not on the carousel, and they're not on the show today, but I couldn't afford to give away a monitor. Sorry, guys. But I could afford to give you one of a great accessory for any of these monitors if you buy them. I highly recommend getting this next. So this would be a great add-on to throw in your cart as well. Probably should have put it in the cart, huh? So this is now the curved monitor. So let's take a look on the side camera and see what the difference is there. So hopefully you guys can see it. This thing, I believe, is a 1500R curve. So what does that mean? Well, they measure the curve as if it was a radius. So if it's a circle, so you've got 1000R, that would be really tight. A 1500R is less. 1800R circle is, even bigger, so it's not going to be as pronounced. But hopefully you guys can see that, and hopefully I don't drop it. There's a curvature to this. So this is their C27. That's the curved monitor. This one I had to get when they said, hey, I've got a few monitors coming up. What do you want? I said, well, I've looked at some of these other ones. You've got some great IPS, great creator displays. What is this? And it was a 240 Hertz regular aspect ratio, but it's on a curved display. And to do all of this, it is for $199.97 right now. I'm just plugging in the power to it. Thought it was a fantastic deal. Okay. Taking a look. Hey, Jeffrey B, thank you so much for the follow. And Steve, thank you for the follow. I'm just plugging in this monitor now. That back looks killer. You can't see it because my studio lights are so bright, but it's got a really rich red color on it. Now, there is only one color backlight on it, but if your monitor is visible from the back, that definitely screams gamer. I'm just plugging in the display port, which is always challenging. So this is another difference on this series of monitors. The plugs go in from the bottom, which some people prefer that, and then I can loop the display however I want. Hey, look at that. We're already back in, and guess what? Now we're at 240 Hertz on that motion test. So that's crazy. So it automatically detected the monitor, it switched it up to 240 just like that. So it's a little bit bright right now. So to make it look better on screen, I could go down here. This buttons are now on the bottom, same OSD that we talked about. I'll come down here and I'll make the backlight a little bit darker so that it displays for you guys better at home. I have not seen a lot of 240 Hertz monitors. This is honestly one of the first ones I've tested to this level. I've seen a few in person. This one for less than $200 is pretty good deal. It's pretty out there. Let's talk about what that might look like. Now, the Heaven benchmark is not a great one, but I just want to show you the colors on this. So really decent color, and you get that 240 Hertz refresh rate, less than $200. Those are the key takeaways here. And Busy, hey, welcome Busy. Busy has won some drawings in the past. You want to make sure you get in on this monitor arm giveaway we're doing, and that's how you sign up for it, is that URL down below. Adjustability, that's about it. So you don't have a lot of tilt here. It does have built-in sound and speakers, I believe, on this model yet again. Yeah, I'm hearing it. I'm hearing it out of the speakers here because it does have a little bit of sound with this one. But yeah, again, another situation like that. If I look at the back side of it, hopefully you guys can see this. It's going to have that RGB. Let me flip it over from the bottom and you can see the inputs. So that's where your cords go in. You've got 3 HDMI, 1 display port, and then a headphone output. And I've been using the headphone outputs, honestly, a lot more to save cables. Instead of running another audio cable or something, I use the headphones out. Let me know in the chat, do you use headphones directly to your computer, or do you use your monitor's headphone out? That would be really interesting to hear. I have not talked to a lot of people about that, and I'm not sure how many people would use that feature. I'm turning the volume down on it just so it doesn't distract. Let's talk about how it did in the testing. We'll come back over here because I did analyze this one as well. If you're looking for straight up color accuracy and color performance, the flat 27 IPS is where it's at. You're maxed out at 165 hertz. But let's talk about the curved monitor. So here we go. So this is from Scepter. This is their curved 27-inch. Now, as far as the test goes, again, very, very similar to the other one, sRGB. It did come in with more color. It's got 100% of sRGB, which again, that's what most games are coded to, so you're not going to be gaining a lot. It's 89% of the P3 space, so that's again your print media, that kind of stuff. Tone response, again, dead on to Gamma 2.2 there, a little bit at the bottom, it drifts. Brightness and contrast, again, over 300 nits of brightness, which we love, and contrast ratio of almost 2,000 to 1. So very good contrast. That's kind of expected on a VA panel, so you're going to get that. And then screen uniformity, we're starting to see some of the darker orange. And again, I actually did this test twice just because I was worried that maybe I did the test wrong, and I don't want to, do that. I did run the test twice, but when I get into the full review, I'll know more about that, and we'll talk about that. So again, different luminosity. You're not going to see it necessarily. The curve of the monitor is enough that you're looking at the monitor directly most of the times. And again, I don't know. We'll have to do the test and measurement a few times. Let's go to color accuracy. And this is an interesting thing. I started seeing numbers that, again, were kind of all over. And I didn't like that. So I actually ran the color test again with one tune-up that I did. I lowered the brightness a little bit, and I increased the backlight. Because what I'm seeing on a lot of these is straight out of the factory in standard mode. They're coming in a little bit like muted. They're like a little bit too bright, but then not a lot of contrast. So by changing that, I actually did get a better result for the color. Let's view that. So this is the 240 color test that I did. And you can see now, again, those colors in the gray ranges because it's expecting those gradients. Not as good, but they're better. Everything's usually between 2 and 3 now on this one. So the purpose of this monitor, 240 hertz, is first-person gaming. This is going to be your Warzone. This is going to be your console, which these do all support consoles at 120 hertz. I don't think there's any consoles that go over 120 right now. So, hey, Joanne Lee, thank you so much for the follow on Amazon. This is John the Net Guy. We are on Amazon right now. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, pretty much anybody that'll have me. And we're testing out the full line of Scepter monitors. This is the C27. So this is this monitor right here. This would make a fantastic gift. I don't know any, practical gamer that would say, please don't give me a curved 27-inch, 240 hertz and do it for under $200. That was a fantastic deal on that one. I just showed the display analysis, which says, overall good numbers. We're over 300 nits of brightness, which I love to see. Really cool features like the back RGB. 3 inputs. Just be really careful. I'm going to pull up the page for this specific monitor. When we talk about the inputs here, just make sure you're plugging into the right ones. So this is a couple of their factory photos. I like showing their photos because sometimes they're better than mine. So there's, some of the key features of it, the 1500R curve. But here is the important thing. I'll try to pull it up a little bit tighter. So as you're plugging these in, up to 165 hertz is on the display port. It's saying 240 here on the HDMI. Now what's funny is I'm actually getting 240 out of the display port. I was just checking that. So maybe that's a misprint on here, but I was actually getting 240 out of the display port, 120 hertz on the last 2 inputs. So if you have your gaming machine and you have it plugged into the HDMI 2 or 3 and you're not getting the full resolution or full speed, that might be something to quickly check, is to make sure and put it in the different inputs. But I would save the other inputs for maybe an Xbox 360 or something similar to that. So just moving along right here, we're going to do the drawing now. So if you haven't, as I'm putting this away and I'm loading the site, there's the URL below. I'm going to pull up the Mount Pro website here. So this is the website you go to when you're signing up for the giveaway. That is the monitor arm I'm giving away from Amazon. And you have just a few minutes to sign up for that as I get this monitor put back. And we're going to get the last monitor of the show after the giveaway here. The last monitor is the Grand Poobah. It is got some of the coolest features of all the monitors that we're looking at today. I'm going to bring the other 27 back up now that I think about it. Trying not to scratch these things. I got to send these ones back, so I got to be careful with them. The 24 I don't worry about, but the other ones. So all of these monitors would greatly benefit from a gas strut monitor arm. So what's a gas strut monitor arm? Again, it's a VESA mounting plate that goes on the back of your monitor. Allows you to put your monitor on this arm. Now, it's adjustable in weight, but it basically makes your monitor weightless. So you can take any monitor, attach it to it that has a VESA mounting plate. You can move it around. If you're up against a wall, you can slide it back to a wall. You can slide it forward to you. You can rotate, and it's not as easy on these without a monitor, but you can rotate it into a vertical orientation if you're a programmer. A lot of programmers use this. And what's cool about these is you can mount multiples of these to your desk. They either grommet mount through the desk. So the ones I have back here are against a wall, so they go through the desk. This one is in an open air area, so it goes like that. So that is really useful. I'm going to go tabulate the results now. I've made you wait long enough. We're going to take a look and see what the results are on the drawing here. So just checking real quick. I'm going to go to the super secret login page, which I have to get to this way. And I'm going to check the chat to see if there are any questions on the chat right now. Good luck, everybody. And we'll get going on this. Just tabulating the results now. Have to log in. Get to the super secret file that's going to have all your entries. There's the form. Hey, Elizabeth, thank you so much for the follow on Amazon. I see you out there. It is an awesome Prime Day. We're just checking out the Scepter monitors. I haven't seen them this cheap in a long time, and I don't know if we're going to see them this cheap again. I don't have any information on that, but fantastic pricing here on these monitors. Let me go take a look here. I'm going to view submissions, see how many we got that want this. Oh, wow, quite a few people signed up for this one. Wow, we're going to have to download those. That's awesome. Love to be able to give away free product like this. And we're going to do this. Oh, I see some repeat signups, which is good. You see people that are coming in for the afternoon as well as the morning. And then I'm going to do spinner wheel. And we're going to get these guys entered here today. I got to go to the settings. And I'm going to hit apply. And then we're going to go full screen. Are you guys ready for the drawing? Here we go. Hops and Bruises in on this one too. I can't believe that. Here we go. Good luck to everybody. I'm going to hit the go button, and this is for the Mount Pro monitor arm. Got to make sure I got Eric in there. Hopefully Eric's in there. Got his entry, and we're going to hit go. It's spinning, slowing down on Russ C. Russ C, you have won a Mount Pro monitor arm. I will be in touch with the contact information that you provided me and let you know how I can get that shipped out to you. So Russ C, you won the Mount Pro. That will be awesome. Interesting. Steve says he tried to enter, had a problem there. Well, hopefully you'll be able to enter. These other people were able to. And we do have a show coming up later today. I've got a show about Blink cameras. So I don't know if you guys have seen the deals. This is probably one of the best deals on Amazon right now. These Blink outdoor cameras. So this is the solar version that they have. I'm going to be giving away. Steve, if you want to come back, I'm giving away a Blink Mini in the color of your choice. This is the black one. I've got the other one deployed right now, so I've got a bunch of those as well. Oh, it says couldn't see their names. I'm going to have to double check on that. I will double check on the names on the entries there. Just want to make sure. I did see some new entries in there, but I will double check. I know that there were some late entries in there, but we have one more monitor to get to, and this is the one, like I said, that made my channel, and this is the C30 ultra wide. So that's this guy right here. Now I'm not going to unbox it because it takes a lot, and you see compared to all these other monitors how incredibly wide this monitor is. And it is absolutely that. So most of the monitors that you saw today, actually all of them today, were 16 by 9, so 16 across, 9 down. This one is a 21 by 9. So if you took a larger monitor and you just lopped the top of it off, you're getting an ultra wide resolution. The nice thing about this is it's not incredibly hard on your graphics card, because normal ultra wide resolutions are like 3400 pixels by 1440, and this one is only 2560 by 1080. So it's kind of a 1080p resolution, but a little bit wider. So it's about, a few hundred pixels wider. I'm just plugging in it does have a specialty power supply, so this is different than the other power supplies. It takes its own. And then I am going to plug the DisplayPort cable in. Usually that's the one that gives you the best performance. And again, this is the one that actually points downward. So one of the things you're going to notice right away if it comes up here. So let's do that. It's checking for signal. But one of the things you're going to notice right away is the incredible width that this monitor has. So it'll still have the center of the screen image, hopefully. Make sure I got everything plugged in right. And we're going to get that going. So I did do some testing on this one earlier, and they just, again, look incredible. Love the look of this monitor. And, oh, you know what? Is it getting me again because my monitor went to sleep? That would just be my luck. Yeah, that's what it was. Let's see, is it going to do it? Entering power save. See, I tell you, this is just my luck. Doing live demos. I'm going to check one more input here. Okay, so I've got the Heaven benchmark going. Just checking real quick here. So that is the computer that we're looking at here. And I want to see PC screen only. We want to extend. So this one is going to be a little bit different because the monitor is a different resolution. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do what I want to do. Interesting. I'll switch to the HDMI input real quick. See if it likes that one. Got too many inputs on this monitor. There we go. Okay, so definitely a wider background than we're used to, but I want to show you a couple things about this. Now, I'm not going to be able to mirror the display, so this UFO test is not valid anymore because we're on a different resolution. It started out at 60 hertz. Let me do this, and I'm going to do advanced display settings. We're going to get it all the way up to the highest that it'll take on this input. It looks like through that adapter. I'm using an adapter. Dang, let me see if I can go around that. I have these different adapters on here. I want to go as high as I can with the native resolution. We'll get that coming up here. There we go. Okay, advanced display settings. There we go. So this is going to do 180 hertz on the HDMI. I don't have the DisplayPort connected. But what that's going to mean is as I'm moving this around, you can see how smooth that is. Now, if I move it really fast, you might see some trailing. But once you've gone to a high-speed monitor like this, you'll almost never go back. It's been just incredible how well this works. The other thing that you can do, and this is what I like, is if you have a browser and you create another tab, right? So let's say you're on thenetguy.com. And let's say you're over here on Amazon.com because it's Prime Day, and you want those side by side. I could put one over there. I could put one over here. and I can actually surf 2 different web pages at the same time. So another really amazing feature here. And I'm just going to double check that I'm on the right product in the carousel. Yes, I am. Awesome. Isaiah Van Nest. Awesome. Very cool to see the follow on Amazon. We're taking a look at the Scepter C30 Ultra Wide. Where this really excels, and I don't know if I can do this real quick on my gaming, but I'm going to launch up my Fortnite account real quick here. When you're playing a first-person shooter, and this is where I've been really, really happy. I'm just going to show you the curvature on this one here. Go up to the side camera. So you can see that this one does have a curve. It's not as pronounced as some of the other curves, because I believe it's an 1800R curve on this one. We'll take a look at that on the specs, but it's not as a pronounced curve as the C27 that we just looked at, but it does have a curve. And the nice thing about that is that your eye is going to be an equal distance as you're looking around the monitor. So your hyperfocal length is not going to change. You're not going to have to change your focus distance, which can be nice. The other thing you will notice, see the colors right there? And as I turn it, you see how the colors drop off? There's definitely a color shift on a VA panel. It does have speakers, which I'm just hearing now. Turn the volume down here. So there are built-in speakers on this one. This is one of my favorite monitors. Like I said, this was my first video that was over 100,000 views on my channel, was a review of this. Now, a couple things that are very important. If you do purchase this one, and it's $219 right now on Prime Day, which is one of the lowest prices I've seen on it. It's less than I've paid for it. Inside the bag is this mounting adapter. Please, please, please don't throw it out. Looks just like this. So let me show you on the side camera here. There's this mounting adapter. Please don't throw that out, because you're going to need this if you're going to put this on a monitor arm. So you definitely want to keep that. I have heard stories, and don't quote me on this, but I have heard stories that if you go to Scepter and you plead with them and you say, I'm really sorry, but I threw mine out, that you may actually get to keep it. So just getting through some stuff here, and I'm going to go into my settings. Now you can see how much more. I don't know if you can see this right now. This is the standard size that you're seeing when playing a game. When you go to these ultra wide resolutions, that's how much more you're going to get to see and play in Fortnite and other first-person shooters. Most of them will let you have a wider view angle. And I tell you, I love playing at the wider angle. So now it's at windowed. I'm going to go full screen, and I'm going to go unlimited FPS. And I'm not sure which one is that. Enter. Is that keep it button? That looks like it. Apply. Keep these settings. Yes. Okay, so now you can see how wildly wide that is. So again, your character still looks fine there. I'm going to go into creative mode, and I'm just going to hit play just because I want to get in there. And I'm going to turn it down a little bit so that you guys can see it okay. So I got to go in here. We're going to go up. Again, from the factory, they come in a little bit too high on the brightness, but not enough on the backlight. So turning the brightness setting down. And just for the purposes of showing you on here, I can do that. Now, it is absolutely amazing playing this. So you can see how wide the screen is. You actually get a wider field of view in the game. And I've seen this because I was actually playing right next to my daughter, and it went to, you know, a replay of her screen, and I'm like, there's a guy over there. There's a guy over there. And, you know, it's her screen. I'm seeing her viewport, but I'm seeing wider because, again, I've got that extra half a monitor almost full of distance that you normally don't get. So it's really, really amazing. Let me see if I can grab, just to show you the difference in size here. I don't think it's as tall as the 22. We might double check. I think it's more, yeah, the screen's about the size of the 24. But if I were just to put this in front of this, that's the difference of what you're seeing. So you're getting that much more horizontal field of view, which is great. So that's another interesting thing. There we go. So that is the C30. A couple other really important things about it. Again, be real careful which display input you're using, because we want to make sure we're on the right input. There's different input performance. It will work with Xbox and other stuff, but I'm not sure on the new widescreen resolutions. So that's another issue there. Just taking a look real quick. Can't see anything. Oh, I think Amazon's having some issues today, but that is the last of the ultra wides. Let me see here real quick. You know what? I just noticed that you were absolutely right. The few people that did not get in the drawing, it was because this thing, I had copied the wrong rows. Sorry about that. It was sorted the wrong way. I'm going to have to do one more drawing. Sorry about that, folks. I'm going to actually do another one. I'm going to give a still to the original winner. Russ, you're going to get one. I'm going to take you out just because you've already won one. I'm going to give away one more of those just for my mistake, and I'm glad you guys caught that. Thank you for telling me that, and I will take care of that again. So we're going to go to spinner wheel. We're going to do one more time for all of those that entered. We're going to do one more drawing, and this is for another Mount Pro monitor arm. And I still cannot believe, Serene, you're awesome. You have a, not even sure what kind of emoji that is, but that was really cool because I didn't even know you could do emojis in this. So again, thank you for your patience. I'm glad I was able to take a look at that. We do have more entries. I am going to do one more drawing here and give away one more monitor arm. And you do get it for free if you win it. So there's the spin. We're doing a spin again. We're giving away a second one. Oh my gosh, Don. Okay, Don got it that time. Thank you so much. So there it was, the second run. We're giving away a second monitor arm. Hopefully you guys see your name in there. But yes, I did notice that from that there was a few entries that had not gotten in yet. So really do appreciate it. We did the redraw on there just because I want to be completely, we're not doing a reroll. Don't get me in trouble with the Twitter. But we did a redrawing because, again, a couple of the names did not get put on there that had at the original drawing time. So hopefully everybody's in there, and I really do appreciate it. Again, I want to thank Scepter for sending these monitors out. I do have a full review video of this monitor, which is great. Tells you all about it. Like I said, be real careful not to lose that back piece. From a gaming perspective, again, you cannot beat the field of view that you get here. I think that this is actually more competitive than a lot of them. I love the ultra wide screen size, and if you're a big flight simulator nerd like myself, you can do really cool things with the cockpits, like on a Cessna, if you have that extra width. I've even put a couple smaller monitors on the side and used it that way. So it was excellent. Thank you guys so much again for tuning in to this show, and we will go later today. Give me 1 second. I have to pull up the correct one. Later today, I have a few more shows that we're going to be doing. I'm going to do a show for Blink cameras. So give me 1 second. I'm going to pull the ad for that one up. If you're a follower or you're watching me on YouTube or any of those, that is the Blink home security right there. We're going to be looking at the Blink Mini. We're looking at the Blink Outdoor, the Solar, the Doorbell. All of those kind of ones are going to be available. And that comes up today, if I get this right. That's today at 4 p.m. Pacific time for Blink Home Security. So I really do appreciate everybody that's tuned in today. Thank you again to Scepter for sending these things out. If you guys have any questions, you can totally reach me on the next show, and we'll go from there. I'll try to answer anything. Thank you all for watching, and I will catch you guys all in a future video. See you guys later.